What's up, family? It's your boy, Don Pablo. Welcome to my first ever comedy album. If this thing goes well, it's a special. If it goes badly, it's just a voice note someone sent to the wrong group. But we move, ne? The early days. So, let me tell you something about me when I was a kid. I was a short, skinny little guy, athletic but vertically challenged. Back in grade 1, I was already obsessed with sports. At my first school, break time training was serious. In the sandpit. Not long jump, no. We were doing construction. You'd find me and my boys there building fake roads in the sand. I had a ruler pretending it was a truck. Beep, beep, deliver 2 buckets of imagination to site B. We thought we were engineers, bro. And that was life. Until I changed schools. Enter Petra Primary. Now, my next stop was Petra Primary, and that was a serious upgrade. Not petrol, ne? Petra. When I stepped in, even the grass felt rich. At my old school, we had sand. At Petra, we had lawn. The type of grass that makes your accent change when you step on it. Ooh, chlorophyll. Life was good. Private school life was different. Sports had seasons. Rugby in rugby season, cricket in cricket season. But during break time, always rugby, because that's where grudges got sorted legally. I was fast. Skinny boy could move, I tell you. My metabolism was sponsored. The crew. In grade 1, my best friend was Gerald, solid guy. Later on, I met Ross, a happy, angry UK kid. Always smiling, but always ready to fight. Ross had an older brother, Luke, built like a tank. The kind of guy who could tackle you and call it a hug. And then there was Charles. Eish, Charles was old money. Not we have DSTV old money. I'm talking we own mines old money. These were my guys, my crew. We were young, wild, and clearly unsupervised. The first house, Ross's place. So one weekend, I visit Ross's house for the first time. I'm expecting a normal welcome. Hi, how are you? Maybe tea and biscuits. Maybe even an apology for colonialism. Nope. I walk in and before I can even blink, bam! A rugby ball hits me on the head. No hello, no what are you doing, just a heads up, literally. I stood there seeing stars, questioning my life choices. You could have been at home, Zoe. You could have been watching Tom and Jerry in peace. Now, my dad wasn't around much. He was always at the bank, working. So I knew if I died from this concussion, it would take hours for them to find out. That ball didn't feel like foam, ne? That thing felt like a brick with ambition. The rules of survival. But when you're the youngest guy in a group, there are rules. Rule number 1, don't cry. If you cry, you'll never get invited again. Rule number 2, act tough. Even if you're dying, you stand up like, nah, I'm good. Happens all the time. So while Ross's mom is busy rubbing my head, shouting, "Look, what did you do that for?" I'm standing there trying to act fine. It's okay, Mrs. Jogger. I'm used to this. But in my head, I'm like, Jogger? That's a weird name, dude. Is that real or am I concussed? I can't call my aunt or mom to come pick me up because African parents don't play that. If you cry after visiting people, they'll never let you out again. And every black or Zimbabwean parent had the same 2 visiting rules. Don't cry in someone else's house. Don't eat like you're starving. Even if the food slaps, you only eat half the plate. You're sitting there full of hunger but full of pride. No, it's okay, Mrs. Jogger. I'm satisfied. Meanwhile, your stomach's like, no, we are not. The introductions. So I get up, dust myself off, and we do introductions. Luke is like, "Hey, I've seen you at school. Come, let's play outside." Now, Luke's the type of guy who doesn't say, "Let's play." He says it like a military command. You know those older kids who have tough love? The kind who show affection by wrestling you into the ground? Yeah, that's Luke. And that's how my weekend started changing. One moment you're playing safely in the sandpit, the next you're surviving Luke's boot camp. Old money Charles. So fast forward, I start visiting Charles too. Now Charles's place was on another level. His driveway didn't have paving, it had landscaping. The house was huge, sitting on a hill. You could feel the money in the air. Inside, there was a communications room, I kid you not. Maps of Zimbabwe, little pins on mining towns, walkie-talkies. It looked like a war room. Later, I found out they had mines in Zimbabwe, Namibia, even Angola. You walk in there as a kid and suddenly you realize, okay, we're not playing the same Monopoly, ne? Let's pause there, because from this point on, the chaos begins. So one day Ross and I are going to Charles's house, and let me tell you, those boys were crazy. It wasn't even friendship anymore. It was like being part of a small, unsupervised fraternity. When you got there, you didn't knock. You just accepted that pain was on the schedule. Everything at Charles's place was an adventure with a risk warning. The first time I went there, I didn't know what I was signing up for. That driveway was so long and clean, it looked like heaven's runway. You step on it, and angels are doing landscaping. The house itself, this was not pavement, this was artwork. Gardens manicured, trees shaped like confidence. I walk in thinking, I should have worn school shoes, not my adventure sandals. But before I can even say nice place, I hear, "So is it?" That was the last peaceful moment of my visit. Out of nowhere, boom, Charles grabs me and tackles me straight onto the grass. No warning, no referee, no whistle. I'm just airborne thinking, this is not of God. He spins me once, twice, thrice, like he's mixing pap and I'm the spoon. I hit the grass going, what just happened? Then I feel water. At first I panic, am I bleeding? Then I look, it's colored water. Water guns. I open my eyes and realize it's a full-on water gun war. Kids everywhere, screaming, shooting, laughing. Ross hands me a gun like a soldier handing a comrade ammo. Here, dude, you are in it now. And that's how I knew Charles's house wasn't a home. It was a training ground. We ran, we hid, we got soaked. And right there, I realized this is what baptism in chaos feels like. Forget holy water. This was Father, Son, and Super Soaker. By the end of the day, I wasn't just wet. I was initiated. Old money explained. Later, I'm chilling, still dripping, and finally have time to look around. Charles's house wasn't just big, it was strategic. Inside, they had that famous communications room I mentioned. Maps of Zimbabwe on the wall, radio sets, mining town names pinned like a military operation. I'm looking around thinking, so this is where decisions about gold, diamonds, and children's trauma are made. I realized these guys weren't just rich. They were the land in every country type. My grandfather has a mine named after your village type. So yeah, Charles was old money. The kind that doesn't brag. They just own the electricity you're bragging with. The pool heist. Now this is where it gets good. Because as every African boy knows, revenge must be served cold and with style. After all the tackling and soaking, Ross and I look at each other. We don't even speak. Our eyes say it all. It's payback time. Our target, Charles. He's by the pool, relaxing like a king after war, feet dangling in the water, eating his lunch, laughing with Luke. You know that rich people laughter? That calm, relaxed, I have shares in everything kind of laugh. That one. Ross and I hide behind the bushes, plotting like detectives on Sugar Rush. We are patient. We wait until he's almost finished eating. We are not monsters, we are gentlemen of vengeance. Ross comes running from the side, sliding on the marble tiles like a penguin in a Fast and Furious spin-off. Charles jumps up. What are you doing? And that's when I arrive. Out of nowhere, I appear in front of Luke, take 2 steps, and deliver the most beautiful double foot drop kick you have ever seen. Boom! I hit him square in the back. Ross's slide catches his ankle. The physics were perfect. For 1 glorious second, he's airborne. 5 whole seconds of airtime, bro. Long enough to write a small prayer. Then, splash, water everywhere. He spins like a helicopter. The whole garden goes wild. Kids screaming, "Yeah!" Ross and I high-five mid-run. It was art. It was justice. It was friendship. The aftermath. Now, every story has that one oh no moment. Charles comes out of the water like a monster from a horror movie. His eyes are red, his hair is flat, his dignity is missing. Ross! ZOOEEE exclamation mark. And me and Ross, we did what young heroes do. We ran. We ran past the kitchen, through the communication room, back into the garden. Luke is laughing so hard he can't even chase us. But when Charles yells again, suddenly Luke switches sides. Wait! You can't kill them yet. I still need a turn. We hide behind the wall, dripping, panting, victorious. That's when I realize this is friendship. If you haven't plotted a revenge kick with your best friend, do you even bond? The python.
By the way, I almost forgot. Charles had a pet python. Yes, a Central African rock python. At 15. That's not a pet, that's a plot twist. Who wakes up and says, you know what I need in my life? A 3-meter snake. Feeding schedule, Mondays, fear. Wednesdays, small goats. Fridays, stragglers from Rugby. He used to say, don't worry, it's not hungry. And I'd be like, that's exactly what hungry people say. I learned a lot from that house, like how to duck flying snakes and still make it home alive. Brotherhood and beef. Between me, Ross, Luke, and Charles, we fought like siblings. One day we were tackling each other, the next we were defending each other at school. It was chaos, but it was brotherhood. At school, if anyone had beef with one of us, they had beef with all 4. We'd show up like the Avengers on tax shop credit. During break, Rugby settled everything. You could borrow my pencil, sure, but you better return my respect on the field. Growth. When I think back now, from that first rugby ball to the head, to being baptized by water guns, to launching Charles into low orbit with that double kick of justice, I realized something. That's where I grew up. That's where I learned teamwork, timing, and trauma management. I started short, but that day, my confidence touched the clouds. Right where Charles was, briefly, horizontally. So if anyone asks how my comedy career started, tell them Petra Primary and a rugby ball to the head. Apparently, concussions make great content. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's my story and my medical history.